Our team, particularly our leaders, we are really good at planning for and solving crises. When they crop up, we jump on them. That was a response I had from a client when I asked, tell me about your leadership team. What are you really good at? What are your strengths? How did she get to that point? During COVID, they almost went under. They did not respond to that crisis well. They were slow. It's not that way anymore. I asked a little more about how do you do it? How did you get good at it? They have a process. They plan for a crisis. They have a before action review that they actually execute, and they practice crisis response. Let's look at those three areas and see how that can have a positive impact on you and your organization. Welcome to Great Transition Strategies Monday Morning Stand-Up. 5 minutes to get your week off to a great start and potentially give yourself something to help make you a more effective leader so you can love what you do. Plan, do a before action review, and exercise, practice. I'm going to call this is crisis fitness. You're fit and able to handle a crisis. Think about your organization as I go through these 3 steps. Number 1, plan. Her organization, what they did, they have 2-day offsites every quarter, a minimum of a half a day of 2 of them, January and June. They do crisis response planning and practice. They ask themselves this question: what is something that could completely derail us this year? And then once they put stuff up on the board, they figure out where is a potential problem. Then they ask this question: how will it affect our people, personnel? How will it affect operations, finance? So that's a subcontext. So they answer those questions. And then they choose a topic. And then they go into step 2, a before action review. You know what an after action review is. And something happened and you go and review it. What were the expected results? What results did you get? What was the challenge? What did you learn? Before action review. What are our expected results? What is a challenge or something that could completely derail us? Then, number 3, what have we learned from our previous experiences? Number 4, what actions are we going to take? They do that. They go through each of those. When they get to actions, they move to step number 3. That's practicing. Practicing crisis response. In that, they have 2 important rules. Number 1, they form a team specifically for the crisis they're dealing with. They choose the right people for the right team, which includes the right leader. Because rule number 2 is the CEO cannot lead that team. They want to ensure the CEO has the big picture for the entire organization. And that crisis response team solves the crisis, obviously staying in contact with the CEO. So the CEO knows what's going on. Then they practice. They spend several hours working through a tabletop exercise on the crisis. How do we solve this? What are our strengths here? What will we need to do? How would we react? And they practice it. That team practices it with the folks that aren't on the team critiquing. And then they come back and say, okay, how did we do? They practice. Then I asked this question of my client: how good were you at this when you first started? He said, oh, we were awful. It was so awkward. We did not know how to do that. But we've gotten better over time. And we are really good at it now. The result is we have leaders who think about a crisis might be coming and predicting and paying attention and being very proactive when something happens, bringing it up, talking about it. As a leadership group, we are not afraid to talk about a potential crisis. This week, take the time, look at something that could derail you, and go through this process for your team. How can you say the same thing about your team? We are really good at solving crises. See you next Monday morning, 8:30. Have a great week.